Gluten-free basics. So just what is gluten? Well, gluten is a protein composite that's actually comprised of two particular proteins, glutenin and gliadin. Thus, any food that contains these two proteins is considered to be a gluten-containing food. Now that's pretty simple, right? Foods that contain this protein are wheat, rye, barley, spelt, kamut, and even oats, though mostly due to cross-contamination. Now likewise, any food that contains flour from these grains is also considered to be a gluten-containing food. Now this typically means things such as breads, pastas, crackers, cookies, unless of course they're made from gluten-free flours. Likewise, we have to check all processed foods carefully as they frequently have flour added as a thickening agent in many things such as gravies, sauces, dressings, and even soups. Thus, it's necessary that we learn to read labels and learn which processed foods contain gluten as well. Even in trace amounts, people with gluten intolerance can have issues handling these particular foods. Now, for a more complete list of foods that actually contain gluten, see my website, gluten-free-chris.com. Another interesting food is brown rice, which, although is technically gluten-free, does contain one of the proteins that actually makes up gluten, glutenin. It does not contain gliadin. Still though, I and about 25% of the people with gluten intolerance that I've worked with seem to have intolerance issues with brown rice or other whole grains like millet, quinoa, and teff, as well as products which contain flours from these grains. Now, I suspect this intolerance is due actually more to the fiber in these whole grains than the actual protein. I say this because everyone seems to tolerate brown rice syrup as long as they aren't dealing with a candida issue. Now, we've discussed three key points in this chapter. What is gluten? Which foods contain gluten? And how some people with gluten intolerance also have difficulty tolerating other whole grain products. Mastering this information will empower you with the foundation for living healthy and free of gluten and other potential whole grain stressors. Now, in the next chapter, we're going to discuss common symptoms of gluten intolerance.